Hey everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of French Quarter. This is a game published by Motor City Games, and I'm excited to just dive in. I've got this pretty much all set up and ready to go, and I'll explain how I did do the setup. So you're going to grab all of the separate decks except for the taxi deck. You won't need that. Essentially, you'll be replaced by the mayor deck. So you're going to have these 6 decks, and you're going to shuffle them into each deck and lay it out like this. Personally, I'm going to actually just flip them over just to make it easier for me to manage throughout the game. But you can leave it face down and flip up the card as you play it. But this is what I will be doing. Alright. I do want to also let you know that the mayor has an icon on the bottom right of their card. It's not always there, but if it is, that means they will take its first turn. So that is something to note as I flip that over. You're going to place your meeple onto the Ama House Hotel. So you'll see that right here with that meeple icon. So you're going to put your meeple onto that building essentially. And then you would roll a die. I rolled a die and I rolled a 1. So you'll circle the 1 if you also rolled a 1. If you rolled a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, or a 6, you'll circle those dice. That's where your second line will be starting from, and that'll make a little bit more sense once we get into the game. You'll also prepare your 5 dice. These are the colors you will need in a solo game. You're also going to want to grab this. This will help remind you the streets that the mayor will be blocking off and making unavailable to you. And the first player marker will also help in those instances where you're not sure who's first, and this will definitely help you mark that. So the AI will go first, so we'll make sure that we put that there. And we'll start the game. Bourbon Street, looking at the mayor card, Bourbon Street will be blocked off. And it is a little tough to see the street names. I don't know if you'll see it on this piece of paper on screen. But Bourbon Street is got this little pinkish font. And it goes along right here. So I'm going to place this along that street. And that's how I know it will be blocked off on my turn. Alright, so we'll get started and roll the dice. And then you'll just place the dice onto the matching colored cards. Okay. So since the mayor goes first, let's look at their card. From top to bottom, they will draft the card and dice. That means we won't be able to draft that card and that dice. So they will take the carriage, that's the icon at the top. So they will take it. I'll just move that out of the way to make it unavailable. And I'll put the dice right here to show that the next turn, it will just go to the next one to choose. For me, I'm going to pick something that hopefully will have 2 icons on it. And I'll tell you why, because the more icons there are on the card, the more you get to cross off on your sheet. The more you cross off on your sheet, the more you'll probably score. So looking at what I have available to me, I have the walk, riverboat, socialize, and streetcar. The ones that have 2 icons are these 3. If I choose socialize, something special happens. There's actually an extra kind of phase in the round. Looking at some of the card text here, they also have differences in them. I think in this case, I'll go with the streetcar. I'll grab that die. And I look at these icons. So this is an umbrella, and this is a paintbrush. I'll look for the matching activity track on my sheet. So let's go ahead and look into that. So looking for the umbrella, you'll see it's right here. You'll always fill out everything from left to right, top to bottom. So I'll go ahead and fill out 1 umbrella, and you'll just mark however you like. You could do an X or you could color it in. I'm just going to color it in a little bit. Okay. So that's the umbrella. We did see a paintbrush, so I'm looking here. St. Peter Street has that paintbrush, and we'll mark the leftmost box. The squares don't give you anything, but they, provide progress across the track. So that's the first thing we do. We do the actions on the card. Next, we do the movement action. The movement action is determined by what it says on the card. So this one says, move to any space on Dauphine Street. So I have to find Dauphine Street on my sheet, and I'll be able to move there, as long as the building is not along Bourbon Street. So this is where I am. I can move to any space on Dauphine Street, and Dauphine Street is right up here. It's the street right above it, so I can move to any. And in this case, I'll move to the French Quarter Botanica. And when I move there, I get to do the building actions. So it's a little bit hard to see, but this one has two icons. We have umbrella, and we have this kind of trumpet. So we'll go ahead and go into the umbrella section, and we'll mark that next box from the left. After that, we'll look for the trumpet. So it's down here, and you'll mark from top to bottom. So basically you'll mark in the column. So top to bottom, it will be this top one. And this is the performer track. Whenever you fill out any of these instruments or any of these performer icons, you also fill out the bottom track. So I filled out one here, and I'll fill out the first left one here. And it has an umbrella right under it, which means I get that bonus marking on the umbrella. So I mark here, but also notice, in case you can't see, there is a star here on the bottom right. That means there's a wild activity that I can mark. So on one of these activity tracks, I can mark a free space. In that case, I think I'll make some progress on this one. I'll just mark that for free. Okay, so that was my building actions. And now I get to do the map action. The map action requires me to use the value of the die, which was a 5. And so I get to write the number 5 on this little white square. There is a placement, well, there is some rules around the number you write. If there happened to be a number adjacent to it, so if there was a number here or here, the number I write has to be plus or minus 1 to those numbers. So say there was a 3 here and a 2 here, I actually can't write that 5 there, because 5 is not within a 3, within 1 of a 3, and 5 is not within 1 of a 2 here. But luckily it's unmarked. So for now, I could write that number 5. So moving forward, this building has to be a 6, 5, or 4. And this building number would have to be the same, 6, 5, or 4. Okay. So at this point, the mayor will take another turn. And it will take the riverboat. Alright, so that's taken. So what I did was, I had to get used to moving the camera a little bit. The riverboat is no longer available. And then it's back to me. And I can choose between the socialize card or the walk card. And I think I'll choose the socialize. It gives me two icons. So I'll go ahead and grab that die. And I will mark the party icon, I guess, which is on Bourbon Street. So looking at these two icons, we have a party icon and a paint icon. So the party one, I'll just mark the square. And then the paint, I'll mark the next one, which happens to be a circle. And the circle actually gives us a bonus. So we have this little window icon, which gives us one of the window bonuses that you see at the top here. You have to do it from left to right. So I'll mark the leftmost window. And now I have this new ability that's one-time use that I can use. It says move +1 or +2 spaces. So that means if I had a card that gave me 1 space and I really wanted to move at least 2 more, I could mark this off and do that. And yeah, socialize allows me to move 1 space. And I guess I'll go ahead and move I will move to, so unfortunately I can't move here to the Two Brothers courtyard because, oh, is it a little blurry or is it just me? Let me see if I can refocus. Okay. There we go. So we can't move here because it's a long Bourbon Street, but we could move to BJ's Gumbo if we wanted to. And I won't be able to write the number 2 down. So maybe immediately I will utilize this bonus I got, which is move +1 +2 spaces. So that'll mean I can have a total of 3 movements. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I'll move to Matt's Country Boil. And I'll write the number 2 down since there's no restrictions to write that number down right now. And there is an icon. So it's on Decatur Street. That's where I'll mark that icon. All right. So now that we're done, we have to decide if we're going to do the second line phase. And if either me or the mayor took the socialize card when during the draft, I did in this case, that means we actually do the second line phase. So when you do that, we extend the second line by 1 block in the direction of my choosing. And the direction actually stems from where we circled. So we circled this. I'll try to circle that a little bit darker. So we circled this and we could go 1 block in any direction. But on future turns, we have to move from that end of that line. So I think I'll go left 1 block. So I will go, yeah, I'll go left. There we go. And that's the second line phase. After that, we have the cleanup phase. So the cleanup phase is pretty simple. You'll go ahead and just move everything out that you had on the sheet. You'll collect the dice. And then we'll refresh the cards. Okay, so these are the new cards. You'll see that the mayor does have that icon again. They will be going first again. All right, let's roll. Okay. All right. So they'll be taking the walk. I will be taking... I think I'll actually take one that can make me move a lot. Oh, let's look at what street. It actually blocks Royal Street. So we need to block Royal Street. That's the street. Okay. Cool. I think I'll take the carriage. So that's the number 4. It says an umbrella. So I'll mark off the next umbrella. And I'll mark off the St. Anne Street here. And that actually has this symbol that looks like a victory point. But whenever we see this symbol, that means we could mark off the topmost of the multiplier. Because at the end of the game, you multiply this multiplier by how many buildings you have marked on the street. All right, so now the card says move 1 to 3 spaces. So I could move 1 to 3 spaces. I think I'll move to the left 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and I'll mark the number 4. And I'll do the marking. So St. Anne Street will have a 3rd one. And I will actually gain any one performer icon as the bonus because I marked on the sheet something that had either the multiplier icon or the window. And I chose to use it as the window, which allows me to gain the leftmost bonus, which is gain any one performer icon. Performer icon is down here, and I will gain... at this point, it doesn't really matter. I'll just gain this like saxophone looking one. Again, whenever you gain an icon here, you gain one on the bottom. Just so happens it gives me another St. Anne Street activity. There's a little bit of a combo there. I already did the map action. And then now we have to go back and see what the mayor will take. It will take the... it will have to take socialize because I took the carriage. So socialize will be taken. And then I will take between streetcar and riverboat. You know, I'll do riverboat and get started on the Conti Street activity. I'll take that die. And it's a party icon, so I'll mark this. And that gives me this icon, which gives me a multiplier marking. And then this riverboat gives me a icon to mark here on Conti Street. And it says move to any space on Decatur Street or North Front Street. Any space. Alright, so Decatur Street is down here. So any building here or North Front Street. North Front Street is here. So I'm a little confused as to maybe what is considered North Front Street. Is it just this building here? Because I feel like the Riverwalk Shopping Aquarium might be on that street. So I think so. Let's go to the Riverwalk Shopping and Aquarium. And you'll notice there's a square and there's a circle. The first time you visit, you'll mark the square. The second time you visit, you'll mark the circle, and you'll get 8 victory points for visiting there a second time. In this case, I'll write my number 6 for the map action. And then we'll have to do the socialize. Well, it's called the second line phase. Because the mayor took the socialize die, we do the second line, and I choose a direction for where this line goes. Oh, before, when I did the second line, I should have actually given myself 1 point, because during that second line phase, after you draw the line, you see how many buildings are marked along that line. So I should have gotten 1 second line bonus, which you mark one of the squares from left to right on the second line section of the score sheet. Okay, sorry about that. But now, which direction should I go? I should probably go towards this, because I do have... maybe not. Maybe I try to go down instead, because then I could kind of go right, left, right, left. So I'll go south. Let's see how that goes. Okay. And then I score. So I look at how many buildings are along the second line, and still just 1, so I'll mark 1. Alright, clean up phase. Gather all the dice. Discard all the cards that we just had this round. And the AI does not go first this time, so it's me. Great, and we'll roll. So you'll see that these turns are pretty quick. You don't have to take too much time. I mean, you might want to strategize a little bit, but I'm fairly quick to play solo. Decatur Street will be blocked, so let's move this limousine, I think that's what it is, to block off that street. Just here. Okay. I think I'm going to move back up to Dauphine Street. Now I'll take this blue die. So I'll mark the umbrella, and then I can mark Conti Street, which gives me a bonus because there's a window on top of it. So it gives me the leftmost bonus to be used, and it says use W instead of a number once. So you know how I mentioned where you can't actually write a number sometimes if it doesn't meet the requirement of being within plus or minus 1 of the an adjacent marked building? If you really want to mark it, but you don't have the right die value, you could put a W there if I use this ability. One-time use, but it's nice because then you can mark something and it counts towards the second line. Of course, it actually is not the worst. You get a consolation. If you can't map a number, you actually gain an umbrella instead. So not all is lost. You're still able to mark something. Alright, so I should move to any space on Dauphine Street. And I'll go ahead and actually move to Forever Nola Gift Shop. And I'll put my number 2 there. And I can because it is within plus or minus 1 of this number too. Okay. Next, we'll go ahead and look at what the AI will do. I'll take the carriage. And then for me, I'm going to take the riverboat, number 6. And that riverboat will give me a party action at Bourbon Street. And then it's going to give me a St. Peter Street, which gives me the multiplier icon, so I can mark this icon here. Over here it says move any space on Decatur Street or North Front Street. I'm going to go back to North Front Street and go back to the Riverwalk Shopping and Aquarium. I will mark this 8 victory point circle. And I cannot write the number 6 because there's already a number 6 written, so I'll just mark an umbrella as a consolation. And I marked the 3rd umbrella on the 2nd row, so I gain a wild activity update. So I'll go ahead and mark, I'll mark this Decatur Street, which gives me this little window bonus, which says map any number to a building on Decatur Street. And I will do that immediately. So looking at Decatur Street, I think I'll mark the number 5 here. I don't know. Random, I know. Alright, and then it's going to take its next card or die, and it's going to go and take the walk. And it has to, you might think it's silly that, you know, if it's going second, why does it have to do anything? But if it actually takes the socialize, that's how you know you do the second line bonus. Okay, so in this case, we don't do the second line phase. We just clean up. Okay. We block off Charter Street, and it does go first. So it's going to choose the streetcar, so I can't choose that one. I'm going to end up choosing, I think, the carriage. So I choose the carriage, and that will be an umbrella for me and a St. Peter Street. And then carriage lets me move 1 to 3 spaces. I'll move 3 spaces here, 1, 2, 3, to the French Market. And I'll write the number 2 down, and then I'll gain an umbrella. And then the other icon here is like a magic bunny hat. And then I mark the bottom, because whenever you mark a performer, you have to mark the bottom track, which gives me another umbrella icon. So the umbrella icon was here, so I get to mark it off again. And then there's a little star on the bottom right of that box I just marked, so I can mark anything here that I would like. And I'll mark I'll mark Conti Street, and I'll gain a multiplier. Okay. So the AI will choose something. It will choose the socialize. Then I have to choose. I'm tempted by the 2 icons here, but Decatur Street, do I need anything there? I guess I can. Okay, that's fine. I'll take the riverboat. And the riverboat has the party icon. And that one has above there the window. So I cross out the next leftmost window, which says cross out next paintbrush circle. So that does not allow me to gain this bonus. So I have to cross that out. Is that the right one? Nope, that's not the right one. So hopefully I remember that's not. But I crossed this out instead. Okay. Alright, and then after that, we'll actually do the paintbrush one. So unfortunately we don't get that bonus here, which is okay. And then we can move to any space on Decatur Street or North Front Street. Decatur, I'll move to this building, Home of Blues NOLA. And that will give me a paintbrush. And then it'll give me an umbrella. And then I can mark the number 5 on it. which I have no issue marking because this is a 5 and it's within plus or minus 1 of it. Okay, so now we do the second line phase, and we will go west. Okay, and we'll score 1 again. So not very efficient for me. And that's the end of that round. Okay, so no first player icon here, so I will go first. We gotta roll the dice. Okay. I like this one, so I'll take the carriage. I'll mark the umbrella. And then we'll mark a wild, which is anything on this. I guess I'll mark the marking there. And I'll move 1 to 3 spaces and have a number 5. I can move 2 spaces. I'll move 1, 2 to the Royal Hangover, and I'll mark the number 5. And then there's a party icon, so I can mark that here. Okay. So they're gonna take the walk, and then I'm going to probably go do socialize. The 4 is good. So 2 party icons, mark that, and then the second window is now available. This says walk is reduced to 1 space. So anytime I do walk, it's only move 1 space, not move 1 to 2 spaces. Okay. So now socialize, move 1 space. I'll move 1 space up. And I could write my number 4 because it is within plus minus 1 of 5. And it has an umbrella on the building, so I'll resolve that. And now I get a wild activity, and I will mark the Conti Street one. And I gain the second multiplier for it. Okay. And then we'll see about the second die they choose. In this case, it doesn't really matter because I did choose to socialize. And now we do the second line phase, and I will go down. I'll go south. And now I have 2 buildings next to a second line, so I'll get 2 boxes filled in. That's it for that round. Ooh, lots of 6s. Dolphin Street will be blocked. And I will go first. Dolphin Street is blocked, so no point in doing the streetcar. I think I'll do the carriage again. Mark off an umbrella. And then we have the Decatur Street. So mark that. And we get to decide if we want to mark a multiplier or a window. And I think I'll do the multiplier since I haven't done that yet. If you don't do a multiplier, by the end of the game, it's actually 0 points when you score that. All right, and then I have to move 1 to 3 spaces. I'll move 2 spaces to the Fat Tuesday gift shop. 1, 2, yep, that'll get me here. And it's a 6, and I can definitely mark that because next to it is a 5. And now that I did mark both gift shops, I get to add the markings on them, which is 2 and 6 for endgame scoring with 8 points. So that's pretty cool that I did that. Okay. The AI is going to choose the riverboat. I will choose socialize, which is another number 6. I'll gain a party icon. I'll gain a Conti Street. Then I get to move 1 space. I'll move 1 space to Kelly's tea readings and mark the 6 there. And then I'll mark St. Anne Street. And I'll gain either a multiplier or start a personal second line on the map. I think I'll just mark the multiplier in that case. And then the AI is going to choose the walk. Alright, so we'll do the second line phase. I will choose to go and continue going south. Now I count all the buildings that's along this line that are marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. So we'll mark 4 boxes. And almost to the end of this row where I would get an umbrella bonus. Alright, that's it. We'll clean up. The AI will go first. Alright, so they're blocking Conti Street. Okay, and then they're going to choose this riverboat first. For me, I'm going to maybe another socialize. I'll mark another party icon. I gain this third bonus. It says go to police station and roll for unusable number. Oh no. Okay, the police station is here. And roll for unusable number. Alright. 6. So I can't use 6. Okay. And then I guess I have to mark it. But then how does that work? I have to double check the rulebook on that. Yeah, it turns out I can't write the number there, so I have to use the umbrella action. Because it's a 6, of course, which is what I rolled, and that was the value of that die. But I do get to move 1 space, because that was the bonus. So actually I move 1 space, and I can move somewhere. I still can't write the 6. I'll move to the... you know what? I don't think I can, because anywhere I move would be along Conti Street. And Conti Street is blocked. And when it's blocked, I'm just double checking the rules here. For the mayor variant, yeah, tourists can't stop at any buildings of the closed street. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. So we can't actually move the building that we want. And we can't move more than that because I think I used my bonus. That's fine. So I'll just kind of move on, I guess. The AI will choose the walk. And then I will choose this number 2 for the streetcar. I gain an umbrella, which gives me an extra activity marking. I'll mark this one. And this says map chosen number to an adjacent building as well. So that's when I map. Okay. So I will do the party icon next, which allows me to do the second multiplier. And then I can move 1 to 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 would be good. So I'm at the Monsieur Laveau's Ghost Tours. And I can't mark the number 2 because that is not within 1 or 2 of it. Yeah, so can I still mark it on the other one? I feel like I could. It says map chosen number to an adjacent building as well. I guess as well kind of makes it like only if you map it, you can do it. Map chosen number to adjacent as well. I'm going to house rule it and say that I can, but I'll make sure that it's not in a way that I can't mark that number. I'll mark the 2 there. So like I'm saying if there was like a 6 here, that I wouldn't be able to put the 2 there. Anyway, I get to mark St. Anne Street because of the building action. Hopefully I didn't forget to do that. Sometimes when I go on a tangent, I forget what I'm doing. All right, so we've done the movement, we've done the building action, and then we marked it. And since I can't mark it here, I'm gonna gain that umbrella. Okay. And now we decide to do the second line because I did the socialized die. And I will go left, and now I count how many marked spots, marked buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I marked 5, and I gain 1 umbrella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gain an umbrella. And that's it. And this looks to be the last round. Alright. So we don't want that 6 because we can't mark it anymore due to this bonus, which is not really a bonus on Bourbon Street. St. Anne Street is going to be blocked for this final round. Where's St. Anne? It's right here. Okay. And they will go first because they have this little masquerade icon. So they're going to take the carriage. I'm going to ignore the walk, and that's not desirable anyway, since I can move only 1 spot. A multiplier I should think about is Bourbon Street. And try to have as many buildings as I can marked on Bourbon Street, which I currently have none. So I do want to try to do that. Which I don't think I'll be able to make it to Bourbon Street. At least not right now. I'll take... So Decatur, where's Decatur? Down here, and then there's North Front Street, which is here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use the riverboat, the number 1. And mark a party. And then mark a ghost. And then, yeah, move to any space on Decatur or North Front Street. Decatur. I have number 1 to mark, so maybe I'll just go here to Jackson Square, mark that 1 because I can. And then I mark a flip icon, which means I mark something on the bottom. It says map any number on St. Anne Street. Okay. I'll just mark a 1 here. And then I get to get that statue icon, which allows me to mark 1 more here, which is another ghost. And then I get this bonus, which says start a personal second line on the map. I'll start one here. Okay. And then they will choose the streetcar. And then I would like to choose the socialize. So that's another party, which gives me this one. It says cannot gain performer icons. That's fine, I guess. And then we'll have this marked off. We move 1 space. Move 1 space. Not too helpful because I can't mark performer icons anymore. And the 2 that I can reach are performer icons. Oh well. I will move to the art fair. Can't mark a number, so I'll mark this. And that actually allows me to mark something here. I'll mark it off there. Doesn't really matter because I got the wild icon. And I can't mark the number, so yeah, that's why I did that. Alright. I think that's it. We'll move on to the second line phase, and I will go... I think I just go down, even though I have the chance to go down here. So the second personal line, let's see what happens there. So that's under the mysticism track. Start personal second line at any one of the 6 starting points. When the second line advances, you also advance your personal second line in direction of your choice. When the second line is scored, count all map buildings that touch at least one of the 2 second lines on your map. Okay, so I will go mark this down, and I'll also mark this going down. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I mark 8 boxes on the second line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I get an umbrella. And that is the second line phase. Now we get into scoring. Okay. So food. Let's look at the food. So food was Decatur Street, and let's see how many buildings we marked on that one. We marked 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. That's the multiplier we got up to. Now looking at St. Peter's Street, how many buildings on that street? We have 1, 2, 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. Then we have shopping on Conti Street. And Conti Street is here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Mysticism, we get a 2 multiplier. So St. Anne Street, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if this counts because St. Anne Street ends here. I think it's 5. We'll call it 5 times 2, which is 10. And then partying is Bourbon Street. We'll look at that. So it's 1, just 1. And we have a times 3 multiplier, so that's 3. So second line will count how many boxes we marked off. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 across. So that's going to be 20, 22. And then buildings. So buildings were the special scoring ones. I didn't end up doing this one. I'll show you guys a little bit closer. There is this one where if you marked all 4 of these, you get 20 points, like all the ones that have this type of like icon. But right now I only did one of them, which was the gift shop. So 2 plus 6, because you add the mapped numbers, it's 8. So I only got 8 points there. And then for performers, we count how many were marked on the first row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we marked 5. And so we'll get 5 points. And then we have 0 points down here, because we didn't mark any on that second one. So just 5 points for performers. We would also get any bonus points we may have unlocked if we got to it. We were so close here, but we didn't manage to. So now we just add up everything, and I'm just going to use my phone to just do a quick sum of it. And so let's see what we get. 4 plus 3 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3 plus 22 plus 8 plus 5. 65. Let's see how that fares. We'll look at the rulebook for the ranges. Okay, well, I did not even place, kind of, I guess. So yeah, 65 is definitely less than 74, and it says you could barely call that a work trip. Wow. So that's how I did. Hopefully, as I play this game more, I'll get better. I was a little bit all over the place with how my buildings were, because I feel like the mapped places are really like important either for the building score or the second line, and so this is a straggler. That didn't help me at all. These 2 buildings didn't really help me at all. Of course, it helped me with the icons that it has, so I can mark other things throughout the game. But for the most part, it's pretty strategic. And with the mayor, obviously, you don't get everything that you would like to draft. And Bourbon Street really kind of was tough on me. The police station I didn't like at all, but you know, what can I do? I guess I could have not done that, but anyway. That was my playthrough of French Quarter. Let me know what you think. Have you played this yet? Do you prefer it multiplayer, solo? Not prefer it at all? I do find this pretty enjoyable. I think it's a very fast-paced game. You're not really, there's really no downtime, I feel, when you're playing this. And the AI is definitely easy to manage. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts. If I made any mistakes, let me know. I'm happy to point them out in the description. And yeah, as always, appreciate you guys watching. If you have any suggestions on games that you'd like to see on my channel, let me know. I could try to get it. Otherwise, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.